All right, well, joining us today is Brian Orser, a world champion figure skater. Brian, it's so nice to speak with you today. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
And we know you're very busy. You have someone going to the 2010 Vancouver Olympics, don't you?
I do actually. So we're down to the home stretch here, so it's busy time, and but it's good for everybody. She's doing well, and we're all looking forward to it. It's going to be a great it'll be a great Olympics.
Excellent. Well, I want to start by talking to you about what happened with your mom's cancer. She battled lung cancer a number of years ago. Tell us about your mom, Joanne Orser, and her situation with cancer.
Well, my mom, I guess the first signs of it was she was having some back pain, and she just went to get some treatment for that. She thought it was just some kind of spasm or muscular issue, and it turned out that she did have a tumor, and it was kind of her worst nightmare because it was lung cancer, and she had lost her own mother to lung cancer. So,
wow.
So she was only 59 years old at the time, and she started treatment immediately, and it was a tough battle for her.
And she unfortunately lost that battle, didn't she?
Well, you know what? It was kind of a bittersweet situation because she ended up going. It was actually like 12 years ago. Right now, she went to New York City to have surgery, and they took out part of her lung. And they took out the tumor, and she didn't have cancer anywhere else in her body, and she was fine, and she was cancer-free. And then, through the surgery, she ended up getting a blood clot, and she ended up dying from that.
Wow!
So it was tough because for a few days she had beaten the cancer, and it looked like she was going to be okay.
How did this impact you? You were professionally skating at the time. How did you react to all of this?
Well, it was tough, and that whole time period was only for 6 months, from the time she found out that she was sick to the time that she passed away. And I was actually on tour, and I was doing some shows in Hawaii, and of all my years of touring, which at that time was probably about 10 years, I injured my leg, and it was I tore a hamstring, so I had to come home. And it was the same day my mother was diagnosed with lung cancer. So I was off the ice for probably 3 months.
Wow.
So during that 3 months, I got to spend time with her. She was in Toronto. She was at Sunnybrook Hospital. And it's just funny how circumstances work out. So I was able to spend all this time with her and care for her and take her to radiation and just try to boost up her spirits. And it was because of this injury that I was able to do this.
Now, Brian, I also want to touch briefly on your father. Your father has beaten cancer as well. Both your parents experienced it, but your father beat it. Tell us a little bit briefly about that.
Well, it was actually during the same time my mother was sick. So during the 6 months that she was sick and battling lung cancer, that my father found out he had prostate cancer. But he kept it a secret from my mother because it was just way too much for her to be able to, digest. So, and then when she passed away, then he became more aggressive to get the treatment, and he's fine. He's 100% fine, and he was a real trooper through that because emotionally he was beat down. So, but he had a lot of great people around him, and a lot of support, and that was I believe is what got him through this.
Now, you've been touched by cancer, obviously, in a very heavy way, both your parents going through it. How important is a telethon to raise money for cancer? What's your message to the public?
Well, I know that every family has been touched by cancer. Mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, grandparents, always somebody, friends. So, and you see there's so much progress. There's so much progress that's being made in research. So it's important to, if you have a little extra, to make that donation and put it to work, because it does go to work. And we see results. That's a great thing. People have much longer lifespans. There's much better treatment. There's much better care. And there's also much better support, too. And I believe all these funds also go for support, too. And the support for the families and the family members who are going through this, it's really important that we not only just help those who are dealing with cancer, but those people around, because it's tough. As we all know, it's tough to to go through that. And you need to be strong for the one who's sick.
Absolutely. Brian, thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Okay.